Let's see if I can get in without getting kicked out. Oh, she's giving me a look.
China's car industry is booming, scaring car companies around the world.
Kind of can understand why Trump and the US is so afraid of BYD. This is a company that is taking over not just China, obviously, but many countries.
I just arrived at the world's largest auto show here in Shanghai.
I just saw a live performance at one of the car companies. 1 in 3 BMWs around the world are here in China.
And there is one car company clearly missing.
Hold on. Where is Tesla?
China is now making more EVs than the rest of the world combined.
I'm now standing at the booth for BYD. This is China's huge success story. BYD is now the largest EV maker in the world.
Today I'm exploring China's crazy innovations.
So this is inside the mini helicopter. So instead of a rear view mirror, you've got a camera here, and then you can see what the camera sees.
And what this all means for America's car makers.
Ford is struggling in China. Traditionally, China's been a big market for Ford.
The biggest market in the world for Mercedes is not the United States, it's China.
Let's take a look inside. There are multiple car companies here that you and I have never even heard of, and some of them are only written in Chinese. Hold on, where is Tesla? Because I'm at the Shanghai Auto Show. Tesla is massive in China, but they are nowhere to be found here. Apparently, the company hasn't been part of the Shanghai Auto Show since 2021 when a customer protest drew negative attention. But despite Tesla not being here, BYD is massive. I'm seeing so many BYD vehicles and cars by the conglomerate that is BYD farther than the eye can see. And a lot of these cars are even dubbed Tesla killers. They're saying Tesla cannot survive with models like this that sort of even look like a Tesla when you look at it at first glance. And of course, this is a lot cheaper. Tesla's decision not to be at the Shanghai Auto Show could be strategic. Apple always skips CES, but Tesla's competitors are using this event to potentially take over a lot of Tesla's market share. Tesla has a huge presence in China, especially with its Gigafactory here. It spans over 200 acres, and the production capacity in Shanghai is over 750,000 vehicles a year. It also employs over 20,000 people. Tesla invested about $2 billion in its factory in Shanghai. Tesla's success in China is largely due to its ability to build a good relationship with the government here. The company has been allowed to operate its factory as a wholly owned subsidiary, which is a somewhat rare arrangement for a foreign automaker here in China. BYD also made huge news recently because of its fast charging station that is apparently over twice as fast as Tesla.
BYD claims its vehicles can gain approximately 250 miles of range in just 5 minutes of charging.
It stands for Build Your Dreams, and you're starting to see it around the world, and it's really fascinating just how much this company is growing and how much excitement and buzz is around this car. So you have BYD, then you have other companies that are owned by BYD the same way Toyota owns Lexus. So BYD obviously has a massive presence here, and from what I gather, these tend to be like the really luxurious high-end models of the company, and there is so much buzz, so much excitement around these vehicles. This right here is a new car brand by BYD. It's called Formula Leopard, and the price of this vehicle is about $54,000. Let's take a look inside. I've never seen a car like this, but you have 3 different screens. You have the monitor for the driver, you have the big one for everybody, and then I have my own here where I can literally watch like a movie or something or play music. I could probably change my temperature, my things like that. But it's really nice. It feels quite luxurious in here. And it's interesting that BYD is having spin-offs of the BYD brand. They're calling them different things. One thing I heard here in China that keeps happening is that people are hesitant to buy BYD cars because Didi Chuxing, which is like their Uber, many cars on Didi Chuxing are BYDs. And so there's that association where a lot of people don't want to buy a BYD because they're associated with being a driver. So that's probably one big reason why BYD is launching a new brand, this one that I'm sitting in now, and even a whole other one over there. One of the biggest news from the Shanghai Auto Show was that Denza, which is a premium brand of BYD, unveiled Denza Z Concept. This is a sleek electric sports car that's actually designed to rival the Porsche 911. So imagine the company bringing you electric cars throughout China has a car now that wants to rival the Porsche 911. I knew BYD was huge, but I had no clue that it's this huge, and I had no clue that they have this many different brands. All the brands you're looking at behind me are part of BYD, and it kind of can understand why Trump and the US is so afraid of BYD. 1 in 3 BMWs around the world are here in China. China is a massive market for BMW. It's the biggest market they have. More than Germany, more than the United States, it's here in China. So you can see why they're investing so much in the Shanghai Auto Show to stay ahead, to stay competitive. They have to increasingly compete with not just Mercedes-Benz and Audi, but now Chinese luxury makers like XPENG and NIO. So here they are, they're also gonna announce a partnership with DeepSeek, the Chinese AI platform DeepSeek, that's gonna be really interesting, and it's really a sign of them trying really hard to localize for their biggest market on the planet. I've never seen anything quite like this. I'm sitting in a BMW in China, and I've got this massive monitor to watch a movie. I don't even know what movies are creating dimensions like this. This is even wider than like a cinema at the movie theaters. But you also have monitors on the side. You have screens on the side. China is notorious for being super into screens. They consume a lot of content on their phones. So naturally, BMW is creating this for the Chinese market so they can see screens everywhere they look. Here, and on the side of the car, you also have your own individual screen as well. Ford is struggling in China. Traditionally, China's been a big market for Ford, but because of so much competition, especially from Chinese car makers, and now tariff, Ford is gonna have a really hard time to export cars into China. It's gonna be extremely expensive even before tariff, but now it's just the economics of it don't work. So this is the first American automaker I've actually seen here at the Shanghai Auto Show. One of the first things that stands out is they really are pushing out their models for like off-roading. As you can see here with this truck, Ford is working hard to establish itself as a real outdoorsy brand here in China. So you've got camping, you've got tents, and then over here you've got a campfire and a fake fire and people sitting around the campfire talking on WeChat. So this is Xiaomi. It's the third most popular smartphone maker in the world behind Apple and Samsung, and now they're developing cars. They just came out last year, and now they're aggressively trying to expand across China and across the world. It feels so weird to see the logo of a smartphone also on a car, because now they have cars. The only exhibitor here so far that actually has a line to get in is Xiaomi. Xiaomi is such a fascinating company because it's a pretty new company. It's become one of China's top smartphone makers. A lot of people call it the Apple of China, and they've successfully launched their own car. This is crazy to me. We've never seen a smartphone company successfully launch a car. Apple wanted to, they completely canceled that project, and here you have Xiaomi doing it. The car just came out a year ago, and now it's aggressively bringing out new models. And just judging by the thousands and thousands of Chinese people waiting in line to see these cars, there's a lot of potential here. I think it's gonna do big things. Think about it, if millions and millions of people have a Xiaomi phone and they love their Xiaomi phone, naturally they're gonna be very interested in probably buying a car as well. I wanna mention one more thing. Some analysts are saying that this could be the Model Y killer. Xiaomi is denying reports that the YU7 will be delayed and saying that it will go into the market very quickly. It's a very new company. It's penetrated the smartphone market. It's not just smartphones and cars and computers. They also sell things like scooters and bikes and washers and dryers and gadgets and speakers. It's really become a phenomenal, massive success story here in China. Kind of reminds me of Samsung when you go to Korea, but just evolving at a much, much more rapid pace. So I'm sitting right now in a Xiaomi vehicle. This is my first time sitting in one of these, and you have a tablet here, presumably Xiaomi. Imagine you sit in your car and all of a sudden the tablet in the middle of your vehicle becomes your home screen of your phone. Everything you can imagine, from temperature to locking to the battery, it all becomes so seamless. It's actually, I think, very smart for a smartphone company and a big tech company to be manufacturing cars, and if it can pull it off, it'll be the first time we've ever seen this in history. To put it in perspective, many people who have Apple iPhone are really stuck in the ecosystem, from iCloud to AirDrop to iMessage, and it forces you to never switch to Samsung because of that exact reason, myself included. But now imagine if you're adding a car into your tech ecosystem. Imagine your smart home becomes Xiaomi, your car becomes Xiaomi, your phone, your files, everything becomes Xiaomi.
Trump hit Huawei with major sanctions, accusing the company of being too close to the Chinese government. The US banned Huawei from buying American tech and blocked other countries from selling its chips made with US tools, and it basically cut Huawei off from the global tech supply chain.
You know, Huawei is a big deal. It's a massive Chinese tech company, so the fact that they're working essentially on a car is pretty big, but they're doing it through, of course, a partnership.
Huawei doesn't make its own cars, but it has teamed up with Chinese car brands to build smart EVs. It provides the tech like self-driving systems and Harmony OS dashboards.
This is called LEXUS. It's a car that's made through a collaboration between HUAWEI and a Chinese car maker called Chery. So this company is called Aito. It has a close partnership with HUAWEI, which is one of the biggest Chinese tech companies.
This car is selling like crazy here in China. In 2024, the brand delivered 387,000 vehicles, a huge jump from about 94,000 the year before.
Porsche is struggling in China. So right now about 1 in 4 cars are sold here in China, but last quarter they had a 42% decline in sales. 42%, that is massive. So what's going on? Well, a large reason for that drop is because increased competition from Chinese luxury EV makers. So I'm talking about NIO, XPENG, Xiaomi, BYD. China is producing so many luxury EVs right now that people are seeing less and less the point of buying a Porsche. Now, it still has very cool brand value, and you can see there is mass interest in people getting to see up close and personal the Porsche 911. But when it comes to sales, which is the most important thing, Porsche has a problem. The largest market for Mercedes-Benz is here in China, followed by the US and Germany. So it's a massive, important market for Mercedes-Benz. That's why they go so hard at the Shanghai Auto Show. This is the Mercedes Vision V, and it's designed with the Chinese market in mind. So as you can see, it really looks like a concept car. It's quite intense how futuristic it looks, with a massive television screen in the back, and then in the front you have a lot of space. The back looks crazy, the front looks crazy, and this is already planned for production. This is one of the vehicles they're showing off here at the auto show, and it's this massive van for a family or a road trip or even a commercial, even hotel, something like that. Could buy a bunch of these and use. Let's take a look inside. This is super comfortable, and you definitely feel the quality of a Mercedes made car. You know, as cool as so many of these car companies are, sometimes when I close the door or something like that, I can just feel the materials a lot cheaper than I'm used to in, let's say, a Mercedes or a BMW. But here you really can tell the difference. And it's also so spacious, it's really nice. It's so relaxing in here, and you've got a lot of sun roofs, like a lot of lighting. And this is actually meant to be able to like fold out into a full bed. It's interesting, it seems like there's a lot more interest in off-roading or camping within the Chinese market. And so a vehicle like this is perfect for a luxury road trip. But you know, one thing that really fascinates me about this vehicle is just how much of it is window. It's really like nice. This is NIO. It's only been around for about 10 years, imagine that. And it's a luxury EV maker here in China. It's competing with the BMWs and the Mercedes. And it's really interesting because it's not just here in China, it's expanding quite rapidly globally. I visited their showroom in a luxury part of Dubai. You can check out that video. I made a whole video about that. And the starting price for a NIO is about $45,000, which is obviously a lot higher for the Chinese market. Definitely considered a luxury car here, but you can definitely see the hype is real. It's funny because here at the Shanghai Auto Show, it's right next to BMW, but it's a lot smaller than BMW. It's not as sexy in terms of the lights and show that you see at BMW, but definitely make no mistake, there is a lot of interest in this company. XPENG is gaining quite a bit of popularity in China as a luxury EV maker. They also opened a showroom in Dubai. I visited that. You can check out my video about that. But one of the reasons they're going more probably famous and getting super viral is because of this. So XPENG is also making kind of like an electric mini helicopter. It's a passenger helicopter for you to go anywhere you want. It can fit, I think, 2 people. But it's not just that. This is actually going to fit in the trunk of your truck. So this truck over here is actually meant, and it's all electric, is meant for a couple of passengers to drive anywhere they want. And then it's also meant to fit in the back of your truck. So this is inside the mini helicopter. You imagine in the back of your trunk, you have a mini helicopter, and if you're ever like going off-roading or you're just sick of the traffic, you pull over off to the side and you get in your helicopter and fly. I don't know how common it's gonna be to use this, but it's needless to say, it's excellent marketing for XPENG to raise awareness about their car through this really cool futuristic technology. This is the Lexus GH550H, and as you can see, there is a solar panel on top of the vehicle.
It's a luxury hybrid SUV, and it comes with all-wheel drive, a big 14-inch screen, and features like a Mark Levinson sound system. Now, it's built for both comfort and adventure, though some say it's actually less powerful than the US version.
I'm seeing Toyotas that I've never seen before, and a lot of them here have LiDAR technology, which is a clear indicator that they are self-driving able. This is the Toyota BZ5. This Toyota BZ series is quite interesting, and in this car, you can literally lie down and have the car drive you to your next destination.
Toyota's BZ series stands for Beyond Zero, and this is their line of fully electric cars made for zero emissions. This is a sleek electric SUV with up to 314 miles of range and smart features like easy charging with Tesla plugs.
At first glance, this Toyota reminds me of a Tesla.
In China, Toyota teamed up with BYD and others to make extra BZ models, all with solid range and tech. So Toyota is shifting away from the BZ name soon, but it's their big push into electric vehicles for now.
So the BZ7 was designed specifically for the Chinese market. You're not going to see that in other countries. You're not going to see the BZ7 in the United States. This is the Toyota BZ4X Robotaxi. Toyota and China are going to start doing Robotaxis in Tier 1 cities. I'm talking about Shanghai, Beijing. It's going to provide full self-driving robo-taxis. It's planning for production very soon. I'm talking about level 4 autonomous driving here. They're going to start with 1,000 vehicles. It's kind of interesting to see Nissan off in the corner, off to the side, and it just gets you thinking about Japan versus China. Japan automakers have notoriously been huge, the biggest in the world, the most successful in the world, and now the competition is coming in extremely fast, extremely aggressively from China itself. It's just interesting to see what Nissan is exhibiting, and even just the energy. There's a good amount of people here, of course, but it's just not the same level of the Chinese automakers. And I get it, we're in China, so that's obviously going to happen, but it's just an interesting comparison here. This is crazy to see Honda here at the Shanghai Auto Show, because I'm seeing so many models of cars that I've never seen before, and I know a lot of Honda models, and apparently Honda has a China exclusive Yi series, and these models are electric sedans with pretty sleek designs, built in collaboration with Chinese manufacturer GAC and Dongfeng Motor Corporation. These are, I'm not gonna lie, really beautiful, but one thing that struck me kind of off guard is they've replaced the rear view mirror with a camera. Okay, fair, maybe that's where the future of cars are heading, but then I see the screen of the camera there, and I'm just wondering, is that necessary? Is it really necessary? I mean, is it much difference if I look in the mirror here or if I see a screen here? I don't know, maybe we've gone a little bit too far with our need to show off tech in our cars, although I'm sure the engineers and the designers would make an argument that this is just gonna be a lot higher tech. If it's raining, or maybe there's a big red X if I have my ticker on, and it's like a red X, like, hey, don't do it, or, you know, maybe it says how many feet they're away, or, you know, different things like green, yellow. I'm sure there's a lot more that meets the eye of this technology. This is a massively eye-opening experience for me. I imagine the Shanghai Auto Show would be big, but I couldn't have imagined it being this huge. I was only able to cover about half of it in my day here, probably even less. What really shocked me was how many Chinese EV makers that I've never heard of. And not just that, but how many of them only write their company name and their logo in Chinese, meaning they don't really care that much, at least right now, at least not at the Shanghai Auto Show, about international sales. They are more than happy with China as their market. So that was really fascinating to me. The second thing is how popular Xiaomi is. Xiaomi was really interesting. I had heard that it was going to be launching its own car. I read about it, but to see it up close and personal, to sit inside it and to see the line and the excitement around it was really cool. You know, a lot of times you go to these exhibitors and it's not just about how many people are there, it's also about the energy and the vibe. And at the Xiaomi exhibit, there was really an exciting vibe and a really exciting energy at the Xiaomi one. So that was really one of the highlights for me to see. Also BMW, I was quite impressed with how big BMW is in China, and it does not want to give up market share. Mercedes, yeah, you know, but Mercedes is kind of over in the corner. It's popular, don't get me wrong, but BMW, it's like, we are not going to give a slice of market share to these new competitors. We are in this to win this. We are definitely going to go aggressive here. It was also interesting to see Ford. Ford, to me, is like resigned. Ford was really just kind of like, they didn't care much about the exhibit, the lighting. It was half empty. Ford is struggling quite a bit, and I think they're just like, you know what, we know we can't compete anymore. The other thing I wanted to hit on was Tesla. China represents up to 40% of Tesla's global sales. Just think about that. And Tesla's not even here. They haven't been for the past couple years. To me, this is crazy. I don't understand how a company could be this arrogant and think that you're just going to continue to grow or even keep your market share when you have every company, not just BYD, but so many other companies biting at your heels. So yeah, that's crazy to me that Tesla felt the need to just skip the Shanghai Auto Show. It gets me wondering, do they even care? The CEO is obviously a very busy man, but you know, the China story for Tesla is going to be a huge one to watch. They do so many sales here in China, and for them not to be here, especially right now, is just absolutely crazy. But I want to know, what do you find the most shocking about the China auto story? It's really a fascinating story to watch, and I'm going to be covering it for the years ahead. So make sure you subscribe and check out my other videos from here in China and around the world. And don't forget to subscribe at UPTIN.